Thank you, everyone. Yes, I'm back. Took a little time off. I've been redoing my website, doing some reprocessing on how to go about the business. Just needed some time to organize things. So I'm back and put some new stuff into place, and things should go very, very well. Once again, I'm Chris Gargiulo. My podcast and my blog site and my site where you could look for homes. Well, I'll get into that individually. Chris Gargiulo. I'm a licensed referral specialist for Realty Connect LLC. I also have an associate broker's license. And with Realty Connect LLC, I'm able to help you find a home anywhere in the United States of America, or list a home. And basically, I put you together with the top agents of the locale that you wish to list a home or buy a home. And it could be a double process if you're, we're in Hampton Roads, Virginia. If you're in the Navy, you're leaving Norfolk, going out to San Diego. You want to sell a home here and buy a home in San Diego, I could help you with that. All right. I do not do the actual showing or listing of a home. I get you connected. I could advise you. Okay. I could consult you. But the actual showing and listing of properties will be done with other agents within the Realty Connect LLC. Okay, so that's how I work. So you basically getting, in a sense, two agents for the price of one, but there's no cost for this. Basically, it's if you're buying a home, my fee is coming out of the sale. There's no additional cost. There's no extra points. The same thing if you're listing a home, if you're listing it for 5% or 6%, there's not an additional point for Chris Gargiulo. Okay. And so I have my podcast, Real Estate with Mr. G, where I give you advice or give you updated news within the real estate industry and the mortgage industry and what's going on in the economy. And I have my blog, realestatewithmrg.blog, where you'll be shown up to 5 articles per week on the real estate industry, again, mortgage industry and economy, and videos that go along with that. Okay, so I'm trying to make it all worthwhile, and I'll be adding products on the blog site to help you along. It'll be manuals or ebooks to help you along with purchasing, with selling. I'm putting together a mini listings course on if you want to try purchasing on your own, how to go about that, or just what's involved in the buying process. So if you did want to purchase on your own, not always highly recommended, but you know what's going on. So even if you're using an agent, this guide will be helpful. Okay. With that in mind, I'm just going to show you a little video. I have 3 videos. Maybe since I've been off a while, I'll show you how Realty Connect works. I think that's a good one to start with. So here it is.
Imagine hiring someone for a job without an interview. That's how most people pick a real estate agent. Unfortunately, most people don't find out what kind of agent they have until they're already in the middle of a transaction. But how do you find a great agent before making a move? Realty Connect is an invite-only network of the top 5% of all real estate agents in the country. Our free, easy-to-use online service helps you find the right agent for the job. Here's how it works. At Realty Connect, we analyze historical data from millions of real estate transactions and past client reviews to objectively determine which agents are good in a given area. Then we grade each agent on their skills, experience, reputation, knowledge, and communication. Extraordinary agents that score 95% or higher are invited into our network. This comprehensive vetting process allows us to recommend 3 top local agents that will be a good fit for a buyer or seller based on the client's unique needs and the skills and strengths of the agent. Just provide us with some basic information about you and your real estate goals. Once received, we'll match you with 3 top-rated agents that specialize in your market. Evaluate each agent and decide who you like best without any pressure or obligation. We make finding the perfect agent fast and easy, but the best part is our service is 100% free. That's right, none of our services will cost you a penny. We felt the best way to find a real estate professional, and it works by matching you with top-rated agents based on their skills and strengths. Our nationwide network allows us to serve every zip code in the U.S., so whether you're moving across the country or just moving across town, if you're buying or selling a home, let Realty Connect help you find an extraordinary agent today.
So I hope that sums it up for you on how Realty Connect works. And again, I think it's a great situation because you're getting 2 agents at once. And again, I could guide you. I have over 30 years experience now within the real estate industry within 2 states. I'm also a licensed real estate instructor, so I could help you along with this process as much as possible. So I think it's a great setup, all right? And you're dealing with people within Realty Connect who are really full-time agents who've made the dive into the real estate industry 100%. And it's not a hobby. It's not people who are doing it part-time. And by the way, I'm not putting down anybody who's has to have a second gig. I'm not. But it's to be an agent and to really understand the industry and what's going on and making the investment of bringing in marketing. These are the ones who are 100% vetted within the industry, and that's who you want to work with. Okay? All right. So with that in mind, and again, my purpose too is to educate you of what's going on. So we have, I think it's Alana, and she has a question for today's podcast.
Hi, Mr. G. So glad to see you back on your podcasts. Can you give us an update on any changes in the real estate market? I am truly thinking about purchasing this year. Any advice will be most appreciated. I will continue to watch your informative and entertaining videos with my entire family and friends. Keep it going strong in 2026.
Thank you very much, Alana. That was very, very nice for you to say that. What we're going to do this week, we had very exciting news. And let me get this up on the screen. And mortgage rates fall below 6% for the first time since 2022. And that's a great sign of what's going on. That's helpful for buyers. In a sense, I think it'll be helpful for sellers as well, because if they have homes on the market and, with a lower interest rate, that monthly mortgage payment will be a little bit easier to get to pay. This is a plus. I really believe for both sides to get the market going again and getting it into gear. So this is very good news. Going to move down here. Here again, they're showing the rates of an average 30-year mortgage, and you see, it went as high, almost reaching 8%. Here's a little bit above 7.5, and now it's coming down. Now, I don't know how much more will come down. Most likely, it's not going to be back at, going from 3.5 down to here, right below 3.0, maybe about 2.7. the chances of that going down, that mortgage rate going down to that point, 2.7, it's highly unlikely that would happen. So don't wait. Don't say, oh, we had mortgage rates below 3%. I'll just wait. It's going to be very, very rare if that happens. Okay. In a sense, you don't want it to happen because it will be a sign that the economy is doing bad if it goes down that low. So we don't, even though it would be great having a mortgage below 3%, it would be fantastic, but it would be a sign that the economy is not doing so strong. All right, so let's move down a little bit here. I highlighted and by the way, this was from the Wall Street Journal. I think this came out Thursday. It's a great article. Home shoppers realize that mortgage rates aren't about to fall below 3% again, as I just stated, as they did during the pandemic period. Housing boom, and that between 5 and 6% is the new norm. All right, between 5 and 6 is the new norm right now, said Bill Banfield, chief business officer at the mortgage company Rocket. All right, now this movement going down the mortgage rate, it's great because we're hopefully getting into spring. It's been so cold, and of course, going up more north. I'm in Hampton Roads, Virginia, but going from Washington up to Boston, we just had a lot of snow. We had some blizzards, right? So, but spring is generally the most important period for real estate brokerages and home builders. Many families with children, they want to move during that period. Like they start looking in spring, and then when the kiddies are off from school, they'll use the summer to move and get them into the new areas, into the new schools. So it's a great time. Usually that's the highlight of the real estate industry from spring into summer. Doesn't mean homes don't sell afterwards, but that's usually when you have the most movement. So then we talk about sales. Existing home sales fell 8.4% in January, the biggest monthly decline in nearly 4 years, though economists attribute that decline to inclement weather. That could be. All right. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the positives and the negatives of what's happening right now. And maybe I'll just bring that in now. We're going to, again, discuss them all. But still, you have sellers who do not want to sell their homes because they feel very comfortable with a 3% mortgage, right? So even at 6%, it would be quite a difference in your monthly mortgage payment from making a payment on a 3% loan as opposed to a 6% loan. And most situations, if they're younger or middle aged, they are most likely going from a medium-sized home and probably to a larger, especially for younger people, right? Your first home, you just start a home. It could be your forever home, but I'm going with averages right now. And you have that smaller home right now. You have a couple of kids. You need more room, and usually that second home is larger. Now, for the older generation, they might be downsizing, right? Now the kiddies are out of the house. They graduated. They have their own homes and their careers, and now the ones who are reaching retirement, if they haven't already reached retirement, saying now we're going to downsize and not have such a big house and pay extra for heating and cooling. So they downsize. But generally, with a younger couple or a younger family, they will go for the larger home. All right. So now they know that, with a larger price home and a higher interest rate, they got a big monthly mortgage payment. So they're holding off on it as well. This moving down below 6% might give them that push to list their homes and saying, well, I could deal with a 3% difference or a 2% difference. I'll make it work. But that's one of the reasons why, one of the reasons that home sales have fallen. And to go below that, buyers, moreover, face a number of headwinds that could dilute the impact of lower rates. Home prices are far below record highs after climbing more than 50% in 2019. All right, that's a big jump. So we know that home prices are still increasing, but not at the high percentage rates. Okay, but they're still high, these home prices. Even if a house has been on the market for a couple of months, and we see that now, homes are staying longer on the market, it's still a lot higher than it was going back a few years, all right, prior to the pandemic. So there's been a big jump, right? So you have this cost. And not only that, you have higher electricity bills, along with rising home insurance costs and property taxes, add to the ballooning cost of home ownership. So buyers still have this on mind, right? And this is what they have to consider when they're purchasing, all right? Because definitely energy costs have gone up and taxes have gone up. Insurance has gone up. Did I say that one earlier? Taxes, home insurance, utilities have gone up. It's a big problem. It's a big issue. And many home shoppers are spooked about job security these days and reluctant to make a big purchase, real estate agents say. So all of this is going into effect, and we know that the stock market is doing well, all right? But still, when it comes to people or employees who are concerned that AI will be taking their jobs, and their jobs, might be eradicated. It's a process we're going through right now, or a challenge we're having right now with job security. Now, again, the stock market is doing well, but if corporations have larger profits because they're lowering their working staff, right? That's less money they have to pay out. It's not a good thing, right? The stock market is not the economy. A lot of times when you watch your news networks, they will say that. So having a great stock market doesn't mean that the economy is doing great, all right? Now, going down to the below here, the Trump administration has also been focused on lowering mortgage rates as a way to improve home buying affordability. Toward that end, President Trump announced in January that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac would purchase $200 billion in mortgage bonds. So that can help. As this article continues here, the bond purchases were marginally helpful, but more would be necessary for a broader pickup in the mortgage market. The Fifth Third Bancorp Chief Financial Officer Brian Preston said in the interview last month. So economists generally aren't forecasting further declines in rates this year, expecting the current levels to hold. The Mortgage Bankers and Association outlook calls for rates to average 6.1% this year. So maybe they're thinking it might go back up a little bit over 6, but maybe not that much. And then another risk that people are concerned about, and it's on the bottom of this page, one risk for home buyers is that if mortgage rates decline further, the increase in demand will lead to more competition and push home prices higher, offsetting any improvement in affordability. Trump has also said that he doesn't want home prices to fall. That would hurt current homeowners, right? So it's a double-edged sword. Um, of course, it's nice if you sell your home, you make a good sized profit over it, but um, as more buyers enter the market, and if mortgage rates fall even more, then there's more competition, right? And competition, with a limited inventory, if we still have a limited inventory, can push up prices. So a lot of things to consider. The other article I wanted to bring about, and I'm not going to talk so much longer about it, but let me get that up here. And I might just, I just might mention it. Let's see. Website's going crazy looking for it. Okay. This was in the news this week. And is it showing up here? Oh, here it goes. Okay, let's see if you see that now. So falling mortgage rates don't stop borrowers from choosing ARMs. And I just wanted to bring that up because, or talk about it because ARMS, but that's a plural, or adjustable rate mortgages, is what kind of destroyed the real estate market in 2007. And again, a fast review of how that works. They give you a teaser rate. So let's say the average rate right now is 6%, right? The fixed rate is 6%. And they might say, okay, we'll start you at 3%, all right? That will last for a few years, and there's a cap. The rate of the mortgage won't go higher, let's say, than 8%, all right? But what will happen within, let's say, a 10-year period, your mortgage rate will go up incrementally, right? From 3% and to 4 and to 5, and it might actually go above, and it most likely will go above the current fixed rate. So how is this good? And how does this work? Well, if you're in an industry that you know that you will be getting a raise in the next year and the year after that and the year after that. For instance, the Navy yards by us, they're unionized, so they know that they have a certain 6 months in, they get a percentage raise. If they're in for a year, they get another raise, and it's set up by the union, so they know exactly what the increases would be. So they know that if they stay on their job, and they'll have a definitely a definite increase in their incomes, and they could then afford the monthly mortgage rate as it goes up. That's fine, right? Then it works out. Or if you know you won't stay in the property more than maybe 4 or 5 years, a lot of times the military is like that. They get stationed in one part of the United States, and they're there just for 4 years, and then they have to go somewhere else. So for 4 years, you're paying a monthly mortgage rate that may be below the fixed rate. So that's a good thing. All right. So if you know you're going to be short term in a property, adjustable rate mortgage might be very, very good. All right. Now you could also, again, let's say you were planning to move in 4 years and then it didn't work out. If you weren't deployed, or you weren't not deployed but sent to another part of the United States, or you're just staying there, you could always refinance it. All right. and hopefully the interest rate is something that's comfortable for you. All right. Now, there's closing costs involved with that, so it's not just getting that fixed rate, but then you have to pay for your closing costs. So, you know, it's you have to do the math on it, but you could always, if you're stuck in the arm and it's moving up pretty high, you could always refinance it. Okay. So that's all I want to say on that. And what I did, uh, let's close this out and get my happy face right back up here. All right. I put together like a little summary. I was also a high school teacher. And so I like to summarize my work and use a chalkboard, right? So let's do that now. Right? So I believe, hopefully, that summarized everything. I believe it did what I just talked about. So that's kind of my update of what's happening in the real estate industry. What I also want to show you, and I redid the blog site, and I've uploaded the winter. Did I put it up here? That's still the okay. 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 I just uploaded the. This should be it here. The winter 2026 edition of Selling Your House. All right, and these are free to download. You go to realestatewithmrg.blog/resource-materials, and you could download that. Or you could also download when you are buying a home, the 2026 edition. And again, these come out quarterly. They're updated quarterly. So it's fresh, brand new information. All right. And it's very helpful. But you read them and then you contact me and say, I'm ready to buy. I'm ready to list. Can you help me? And I will help you. All right. Okay. All right. So I believe, this is going to be up here right now. Okay. I believe we have a special guest in our audience. Let me make sure I have. I'm waiting to hear from my. Let's see, maybe. Okay. From Isabella, she's my producer, and she's telling me we have a special guest in the audience.
Mr. G, great news. We have a very special and famous celebrity in the audience. Starting as a young man composing and singing his own songs for Motown. This celebrity is honored in the recording industry, has a musical genius for many decades. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce Mr. Stevie Wonder.
He looks very good. Mr. Wonder looks very, very good, and we thank him for stopping by. All right, I think that's our show for today. I got it by 30 minutes. I really don't want to go longer than that. So be kind to each other, be nice to each other, and always remember the greatest power we have is the love, and the greatest gift is each other. And I'll see you next time. All right? Thank you.